Hey Internet, what's up? Austin Smith here, and I have been doing a few EDC related videos, and I figured if I'm going to be doing those, I should probably just go through my EDC system. Now, there will also be a few blog post type things that will accompany these videos. Probably these videos will be nested within the blog posts, so there is that. My EDC system is kind of tiered, more by method of carry than by importance. It's stuff that can fit in the smallest areas, usually goes in my pockets and such. Anyway, I am kind of boring just looking at my hands, so let's get started. First things first, something that I always have around is a wallet phone. This is the book containing the iPhone 4S. I don't need much more than that. I'm not going to show you the inside because there's an ID and a credit card that I haven't taken out because there's no real other items in there. It's just enough wallet items and a phone in a case. The phone is nothing special. Haven't done anything to it. Just, it's a phone. Next comes a knife. I swap around my knife a lot. This particular one is a $10 Sanren knife from China. It's not expensive, but it is of quality, minor quality. It's not the best quality in the world, but it's not a cheap knife that's going to break in about 2 minutes. It's a relatively robust knife, so it's not going to just explode. I do, like I say, have other knives. Most of them are cheap that I carry around. I don't have any expensive knives, I don't think, because for me it's a cutting tool, and I might get expensive knives in the future, but I'm just not that into them. Now, the next thing I have in my pockets is my keychain, and I'm not going to show you my keychain because my entire keychain is then put into a belt pouch, for the most part. I've carried a belt pouch every day for more than a month now. So I think the belt pouch is the way to go for an EDC system for me. It's slightly smaller than a fanny pack, but my pockets don't get clogged up. So this is usually all that's actually in my pockets. This is in my left pocket, this is in my right pocket, clipped to the pocket. And there are several different types of belt pouches that I do use. Here's an older one that I used. It's a Case Logic camera case. Of course, this one has a very flimsy strap and some other problems, which is why I don't use it anymore. I could also consider this a belt pouch. This is a money belt that is very flat, and it could probably hold most of the items, and it holds them in a much more concealed way. This is a crummy money belt, as you can see. It's got some problems there, but this is usable for that feature. I just wanted to show these off because I do use them upon occasion. That'll be another thing that I show you, is some of the alternatives that I use. I also have another belt pouch that's similar to this one, which is the one that's actually on my belt, that you will see later because it's used in my EDC system later if you watch all of these videos. This is the belt pouch that I use. It is a Case Logic camera case. I forget the model number exactly. It has a few things that I like. First of all, the zippers are rubberized so they don't make too much noise. It's got a nice sturdy belt strap there. It has a lanyard, set of lanyard clips that I've put a carabiner on. This carabiner clips to my belt loop so that if my belt fails or if this fails, this should be attached for a moment at least, long enough to retrieve it. One of the main reasons I carry everything in a belt pouch is because I don't like the idea of things falling out of my pockets, and I wear slacks a lot, and slacks, things can slip right out of your pocket. Alrighty, looking in here, we open up this front pocket, and the first things are a Leatherman Micro, which is also on my keychain. So if I were to take all this stuff out and just have a keychain, that would be on the keychain. Something that would not be on the keychain is the Bic Mini, which comes in handy quite often, surprisingly often for someone who doesn't smoke. I don't. Unfortunately, sometimes I am around people who smoke. Unfortunately for me, I don't like to smoke at all. Anyway, here's the Altoids Smalls tin. You just heard a cell phone go off. I have a video on this, and that usually is in the watch pocket, but sometimes I don't carry that. Almost every day I carry that though, and it's stuck in the bottom here, which makes it a lot easier. Opening up this here, the first thing is a key sort of container. It's kind of like a key smart or a key bar, except it's nice and leather. It doesn't hold the keys as well, but I don't mind that. I don't feel like showing you my keys, but it holds, right now it's got 7 keys in there. It can hold up to 8 keys, but I don't have 8 keys, and it has this little lanyard thing. This was handmade in Bulgaria, I believe. I got it on Etsy. I really like this thing. It's much bulkier than using just a key ring, but for me, the convenience of being able to open this and then slide one of the keys out. There's a key. There's one. Slide one of the keys out like that is much easier than sorting through a key ring, and my keys don't scratch anything. Alright, next item in there is, I'll just show you the inside. It's fairly packed when the keys are in there. Got a flashlight. This is a Maglite solitaire that was broken, that I fixed. The spring was broken. It's not the brightest flashlight in the world, but I like it because it's very thin and smooth. It doesn't catch on anything. It's also got this lanyard. This was heavily used before I got it, so that is not my wear and tear on it. That is someone else's, but it still works fine, and it's still got its spare bulb. Next down in there is a whistle. This one takes up quite a bit more room than honestly I really want it to take up, so I'm looking at getting a flat whistle, but that's just to make noise, just in case. Next, this also goes on my keychain. The flashlight does sometimes. This tape measure also goes on my keychain. This was probably one of the first items that I carried around with me on my keychain. I have no idea why. It's just interesting. Just the thing that's surprisingly useful. Next, in a little baggie so it doesn't get scratched, is a cheap Samsung track phone. Nothing special there. It's just a Samsung track phone. That is a work phone. So this is my personal phone. This is my work phone. I play a lot more games on my personal phone than I do on my work phone, which is the reason for that there. And next, finally, we have a little sort of medical thing. This is just a little baggie that contains some alcohol swabs, some bandages, some knuckle bandages, and some fingertip bandages, and 2 electrolyte tablets. And what those are is, I don't live in the desert anymore, but I used to live in the desert, and I travel to the desert on a semi-regular basis. And the desert, if you start to get dehydrated, you take one of these and a big glass of water. It doesn't replace water, obviously, it's just electrolytes, but it helps you potentially recover from large loss of fluid through sweat faster than if you were just drinking the water, and that's very important if you're in a desert situation. Also, I live in Texas, and it's really hot almost all the time, although right now it's December, so that's not as useful. Anyway, that is my pocket and belt pouch EDC. This usually would be in a pocket, although sometimes not. This would all be on a keychain, so those would all be together, and they would not be with the belt pouch. This stays in the belt pouch. Sometimes this goes in a watch pocket, like I say. This is in the belt pouch all the time. So that's, but generally I'm wearing the belt pouch anyway, so what goes on the keychain and what doesn't particularly matter. Now, the next tier of my EDC is a fanny pack, and I will talk about that in the next video. So thank you for watching. I hope you tune in for that video. I hope this is interesting, and if it gives you some ideas about how you want your EDC to work, I am very glad. Thank you for watching. Bye.